looking today for the meaning of restoration and radiance. How do we radiate the things that are true for us? Our true selves are meant to express themselves in ways that we've had to learn. Sometimes we had frozen feelings and we don't get answers to our questions in every meeting. So it is important to keep coming back because the very next meeting may have just the thing you need to hear. And another thing that is vitally important is doing service. So the answers you already have can be the thing that helps someone else. What happens when your answer solves their problem? That's why this group encourages sharing, because we learn from each other. And when we get an answer to a problem, even if it's not one of ours, we can put it on a shelf to look at later. We may have that problem. But right next to every problem, there is a solution. And right next to every question, there is an answer. And it may be just sitting there and you remember later, oh, so-and-so said this. That's a path to explore. So today we're going to explore some different paths and begin to look at what it would be like to be restored. Some of us have had frozen feelings, and we've had to learn how to be angry or sad or fearful. And we probably are still working on being happy. But just like you learned those others and unthawed them, happiness is right around the corner as well. And you can just begin to relax and let go as you imagine a beautiful, radiant yellow light radiating right from your solar plexus and beginning to fill your body with a radiance of universal wisdom, that inner knowledge of the wise self. We don't often talk about that, but there's a wise self that has seen and witnessed everything that's ever happened in your life. And it has some ideas, sometimes some really important ones. So today we're going to be open to our entire true self. We're going to question some beliefs as we begin to drift down and that golden light begins to radiate through your body. It shines the light on any dark places. We all have dark places, but a light immediately illuminates something you need to know. And that something may be a genuine truth. In this group, we put our thumb and finger together as a sign to our subconscious that it is time to go into this relaxed, meditational, and focused state where we have greater clarity. You can put your thumb and finger together now and take a deep breath. Hold it to the count of 4 and exhale to the count of 8. When we reach 8, let go completely. Release your thumb and finger. Let your hand fall a couple of inches to the surface beneath it. And that little touchdown of your hand is a sign to your body to relax. Let it trigger a flow of relaxation throughout your body. It's time to direct your body. There is nothing to fear here. Everything is to the degree of your comfort. Everything is what you are able to do. Nothing more, not one bit more, because you're always free to change something into what you need. Can't possibly meet everyone's need in every meeting. So your turn is either here or it's coming soon. So put your thumb and finger together and take that deep breath. Hold to the count of 4 as I count. 1, 2, 3, 4, going deeper and deeper, and listen to the silence as you release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Getting ready now. 7, to just let go and drift down. Let your hand relax. Let it drop to the surface. Allow that golden light to radiate all the way around you and to go through you, to fill you and wrap you in its protective, guiding self. It's there to guide you into more information about you. As soon as we discover something about ourselves, we're free to either keep that or to change that behavior. It comes up again, but you notice it immediately. And when you notice it, you can say, I don't have to do that again. I can do something else. I can change my behavior. It's easy. In fact, it's effortless because you've examined what you're concerned about and understand what is needed to fill your needs. Taking care of yourself is good. But first, you have to understand what you need. Relax and go deeper and begin to understand your own processing modes, the way your mind locks onto information. And sometimes we never question our truth, but sometimes it's good to question our perception. There's a story about a little boy that is talking to a monk, and the monk says, let me show you this tree. And the little boy said, what color is that tree? And the monk, being very wise, says, it's the color that you see. And the little boy looked at him and said, are you sure? Sometimes we can actually alter our memories. We need them to be on point. We need them to be true. And we need to look at them with courage and unflinching braveness. Because in that, we're able to change. Everything already has changed because you can't relive that memory any more than you can breathe yesterday's air. It was in that moment that passed. And what you're feeling in this moment, you can ask yourself, are you sure? Sometimes we mistake anxiety for excitement. Sometimes we're actually excited to go somewhere and do something, but we decide that we're anxious because that's what we've learned as children. Anxiety is a form of fear. So when you break it down to those 4 feelings, fear simply equals something you haven't fully worked through. So, what is your fear? And how are you understanding that you have fear? Your heart rate may vary. Your breathing may vary. Right now, just with me talking about it, check your shoulders and let them drop all the way down. Because even talking about the word, your body can respond. Check them again. Make sure they're relaxed. Relax the muscles in your face. Relax the muscles around your eyes, around your nose. Sometimes we try to hold our nose down flat. We do that because it alters our breathing. And if there's dust in the air, it actually kind of prevents us from breathing it. Our body is always doing things in survival mode when we're fearful. Right here, right now, there's nothing to fear. As a child, back then, decades ago, there may have been things to fear. But make sure, are you sure that there's any reason now? Because there may not be. And as you relax with that thought, keep checking your shoulders, any muscles, your neck, your hands. Relax your hands. Relax your feet. Breathe into any place that seems tight and let go of it. You might begin to imagine any part of your body that is holding any tension and see if that tension has a color or a shape. Sometimes it even has a picture, or you'll see a thing that the color just shapes itself into an object. As soon as you see the object, you can breathe into it because you know that you're safe right here and right now. And look at whatever the color or shape or object is and relax as you observe it. Instead of allowing it to make you tense, relax. And I'm going to ask you some questions. It isn't a test. It's just something to think about, to check your perception about things. Leave whatever that feeling or object or color is. And let's just focus on our breath. As you breathe in, follow your breath down into your belly and find the place where you are ready to breathe out. Listen to the silence. Peaceful, that breath exits your lungs, returns back in at your normal rate of speed. You don't have to keep up with me. You can change anything you need to. It isn't a test. There isn't any contest. There's nothing to win or lose. You have no place to go and nothing to do except to care for yourself. to be here right now and see what happened to that object or that color, shape, because it could just be sitting there, or you could have lost the image. It could have just disappeared because you were focusing on other things. There's a skill called EMDR that works entirely by refocusing your mind. But there's other ways you can do it besides moving your eyes side to side. That does work, but there are some other ways. You have that beautiful golden light that you pretended is around you and in you, stimulating you intellectually to use your logic, to use your thoughts to decide what the state of your heart is, your emotions. We need logic. We need our emotions. Logic without emotions is cold and unresponsive. Emotions without logic can pretty easily carry you away. So, those hemispheres of your brain and your vital organs, your physical brain as well, needs to come into coherence with its partner, like logic and emotion. That travels through a bridge in your throat called the throat chakra or energy center that is blue. And we need that to be able to freely open our heart and our logic. So let's explore blue for a second. And here's where I get tricky. And you may say, this is confusing. Yes, because it's a way of distracting, because it's a way of seeing things differently, and also to ask, are you sure? So we're talking about that blue energy center. What is the taste of blue? What color is the number 11? What is the texture of 7? What is the feel of 5? Do any of the numbers have a smell? Or if you picture numbers in front of you, just 1 to 10, there might be some that you can touch and it seems to have a vibration or an energy about it. This isn't meant to confuse you. It's meant to help you look deeper and explore the feelings that we've sometimes been overrun with. So, what is the color of the first feeling that you think of? What is the smell of the next feeling you think of? Is there a sound with the feeling that you have the greatest difficulty with? And this is playful. It's meant to be just a playful little game. And you can feel free to say, I don't know. You can just let yourself not know, because it's just a game to help you to look at your feelings in different ways. So instead of possibly feeling fear, you might feel confident. What color is confident? When you need to feel confident, maybe you should wear that color or imagine it around you. If there's a color for happiness, if you're feeling a little down, then maybe you need to wear that happiness color. You begin to see just a little bit what I mean when I say, look further, look deeper. Is there any of your other senses that respond to your feelings? And you can look at your heart rate and your breathing and respiration. You can look at muscle tension. There's a little gadget that measures a thing called GSR, or galvanic skin response. People that do martial arts learn to toughen their skin. That's how they do a lot of the things that appear to be tricks. People that give injections or do tattoos or anything where they're actually working with your skin know that your skin can really harden. You become defensive. Is there something to defend against? How does it affect your body? And this is where the questions begin to make more sense. Silly questions that are just a game. You can look at your body and say, what color does that feel like? What's the sound of that tight muscle? What's the feeling? And as soon as you start exploring that way, you'll find that you can actually relax that tension. You can stop muscles from tightening and being uncomfortable. A lot of aches and pains that we get are dependent on muscle spasms and chronic tension in one area or another. They aren't really illness, but they make us feel less than well. So we have that beautiful yellow light there. That yellow light is very confident. It's the way you reach out and touch the world. So what if you let the energy from the lower part of your body pretend that it's all balanced, and you can go down to that energy center that is all the way down in your pelvic area. And that's a beautiful red color. You can choose the shade, usually a cherry that is neither too blue or too orange, because there's lots of shades of red. And again, what does red really look like? Are you sure? This question encourages you to not second guess yourself, never, And never doubt your truthfulness. But are you sure? Because there may be more to understand. And these silly questions make you go, well, no, it's not that. But maybe it does have some of this. And you'll notice as colors change, they can blend together. For instance, the very next energy center up is orange. It's a very clear energy. And that's through your creative centers, the second chakra. First one is survival issues. The second one is creative issues. It can be creating children. It can be creating art. It can be creative thinking or writing or dancing or singing. But it's creative. And you can move to the next energy center up, and it's that beautiful yellow. And you can see how yellow and red blend together to make orange. So all the things that seem separated, like taste and smell and feeling, they seem like crazy questions. But you begin to see how the colors overlap, how your energy centers work together, how the focus of your subconscious mind on bringing those colors and energy into balance helps you to feel safe, helps you to feel secure, but also lets you know that you can trust yourself. It lets you know that you have creative skills, that you're surviving in the best possible way that you learn. But what you learned as a child wasn't good as an adult. It got you here. That's the proof that you did the best thing as a child. Your inner children are blameless. They did what they knew. We can only be expected to do what we know and understand. So now changing those patterns is what we work with the laundry list. Changing them is a matter of awareness. And changing them happens when you move from red to orange to yellow. The red begins to blend with the yellow and it makes orange. And then the yellow bridges that energy upwards to green. The green in your heart area that helps you to heal your emotions. Your heart area opens to the universe. And you can ask it which shade of green it is today. Because different shades have different associations. Every little thing that comes up in this relaxed state, even if it seems silly, it's your subconscious communicating with you and restoring your balance. So, what color is restoration? All of them. We move from the yellow to the green, and guess how we get green? The yellow blends with the blue of your throat area. The reason we're moving up this way is because your throat area is communication. And yes, it governs your ears as well. You're speaking as well as hearing. You're giving as well as receiving communication. How many times have you wondered if somebody was actually being loving and you understood it to be something else. Because we make that mistake when we're conditioned to make it, when we think this has always been true. We tend to continue thinking it's still true. Are you sure? Things have changed. You aren't the same person you were as a child. The people around you aren't the same people they were when you were a child. And hopefully, even people that caused you harm have also changed. Hopefully, they've learned. Hopefully, they did their own healing discovery. But you can't do anything about that. It isn't your job. Your job is your own healing discovery, your own restoration. And you'll notice that that green is a beautiful color. It might be getting a deeper forest green even as I speak that is emotionally stable. The ones that are more yellow can be a little bit iffy sometimes, not sure quite of the feeling that comes with it because our heart and emotions are very changeable. So let's pretend that there are some little pink sparkles in your heart area as well. Even though that isn't part of the system, but your creative energy and your survival and all those other energy centers, 1, 2, and 3, that can be a healing thing as well. That's why that beautiful pink stone, rose quartz, is worn a lot of times for emotional healing. I don't know whether it's because pink means a delicate, gentle love. We tend to think of kindness as being that gentleness of a child. We want all that to heal. And when we move up to the blue, we can look back down and see the shades that we choose for these different energy centers affect the shade of the one they blend with. Let yourself be in touch with those feelings and let your communication with that wise self, that part of you that did its very best to take care of you, let your communication with it be clear. Let your receptivity be clear and understanding. Receive the information openly, with courage, bravely, whatever it is, because there's no one to judge. It's between you and your higher power, and you are loved no matter what, just exactly the way you are. And let your mind move to that blue and imagine saying to yourself, I am a survivor and I'm confident and yes, I have courage and I'm creative and I have heart. I have a good heart. Always say that to yourself. It isn't what actually happened, it's what you really meant, what you focused yourself on and learned and worked with. So allow yourself to move on up another step to a beautiful indigo color in your brow. And know that your heart is communicating with your mind. And yes, your intuitive self resides there, your openness to the generosity of the universe, the unconditional love of your higher power. That's right there. And you may even feel when I start talking about that area right between your eyebrows and just a little bit above. Some people call it the third eye. Doesn't matter what you call it. There's an energy center there. And when you focus on that, it may be as though something is touching there, or there's a little tingle of energy or a feeling of warmth or coolness. Because when that energy center activates, it produces a sensation. There isn't any strain or anything, it just happens. But when you're lost in your emotions, put your attention on your brow. And the reason we do that is because you want that brow chakra, that energy center, you want it to engage your logic and your intuition. You want it to give you information. You want it to work with its skills along with your emotions in your heart to blend and give you good, solid information that when you say, "Are you sure?" you can say yes. You can say yes. So be comfortable with that and allow your energy to move to the top of your head, and a clear white crystalline light, a sparkle, begins to enter and empower all of the other energy centers. You can feel your weight maybe getting heavier on that surface, just in a very relaxed way, or maybe feeling light and floating a little. Whatever you feel is your truth. Are you sure? Yes. Yes. Let that energy balance. And if there's a feeling that comes up at any one of those points, you can ask, what does that mean? And when you don't get an answer, you can say, what does it taste like? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? You can ask any question you want, no matter how silly, and your subconscious will chuckle and give you a little answer. You have to be open to thinking outside of yourself. Allow information to come clearly. and freely as you are ready. Allow yourself to experience yourself courageously. You are a warrior because you're here. You're a survivor. You're here. You want to be more than a survivor. You want to become an advocate. Learn to be an advocate for yourself, and then learn to share. Even if it seems silly to you, it can mean the world to someone else. So when you share your insight, it triggers information in other people. You can be helpful to them the same as they're helpful to you. It isn't your responsibility to fix them, but just by being present, you are releasing a force for healing in you, around you, through you, and to other people as well. All of these people right now that are listening to this are growing. They're growing spiritually. They're being more confident in their connection with their higher power. They're growing in well-being. You are growing in those things. And not only ask yourself, are you sure, but answer yourself, yes. And when you do that, there'll be a little smile that says, you know what, you're right. Because what you answer is right here and right now. It's different than last week, and it's different than what it'll be tomorrow. But right here, right now, this is you, and you're okay. This is you, and you're fine. This is you, and you're learning that fourth feeling, happiness. You can explore anything in your mind. Explore it and decide whether it works or not before you even venture to try it, venture to use that skill. And when you go, yeah, I think this will work. When you do use it, you can say, maybe I need to do just a little bit differently. But this was good. This was better. You can also tell the people that expect instant answers that this is the best I have right now. How did I do? I'm practicing. I'm practicing really being myself and giving honest answers, kind answers, gentle answers, because those things really are the truth. The anger that comes out, the fear that comes out, those things happen because we have believed things in our past. Most of them aren't true. When you find the truth, you'll find a kind, gentle person that's as concerned about others as you are yourself, because you know that you will both grow in the sharing of your wisdom. And just find yourself back out of that almost toyland of colors and shapes, numbers and tastes and smells. And let your mind play with those things. Bring that playfulness, because that's down there in those first energy centers as well. Bring that playfulness back with you into your everyday life. Sometimes someone will say something, and I think, how does that smell? And there's something that makes me laugh and say, that smells, maybe there's a rotten fish someplace here. You can do that too. It's like, are you sure? Yeah, I think so. And just temper your responses based on not only what people say, but temper your responses based on what they do. You've learned that's the truth. When they tell you about themselves, believe them. Bring that with you into your waking state. Begin to ask yourself if you're sure, and answer yourself if you feel some certainty. Ask yourself some more questions if you don't, until you can say, yes, this is true for right here and right now. Later, if things change, here's the wonderful part. You can say, I changed my mind. I changed my mind. Not only about this question, but I changed my mind about the way I thought things were my entire life. I changed my mind. You're the one that has this. You can do this. You changed your mind. That's a whole sentence. It declares the truth. Just like no is a complete sentence. So is yes. But you can change your mind. You can change your responses and bring that with you into your everyday life. What is the color of this, or the smell, or the taste of it? Your subconscious will play this game with you. And you might dream of some fun things that bring up images because they're all about you. Learn to unravel what they mean. Learn to unravel yourself and look at those little wonderful changes every day. Find yourself back on that surface beneath you, welcoming, comfortable surface, and just begin to come up. When I count to 5, at the number 5, you can open your eyes wide awake and feeling wonderful, and just begin now with the number 1 to drift back. Number 2, know that you have enough energy to do what you need to do, and then you can sleep very soundly and wonderfully tonight. Maybe even playing this game of colors and shapes and numbers that really don't mean anything and really aren't important. They're just meant to give you insight. They will give you insight. They'll teach your mind to think more flexibly. And with the number 3, you can take a deep breath and begin to come back even further. Number 4, feel the need to stretch, move around a little bit. And number 5, just open your eyes, wide awake and feeling wonderful, all the way back. All the way back now.